Hi, welcome back to DIY Voter Postcarding. This is episode 3. Again, if you just found this video and you have not done voter postcarding before, please go to postcardstovoters.org, get an account, sign up, get some cards, and join us. We'd love to have you. Well, today it's all in the fingertips actually. We're going to be doing finger printing art. Who ever thought of that? I never did it in my teaching. I think I discovered it when I was looking for, ink pads for rubber stamps, and there were all these options out there for kids doing fingerprint art. Well, it's actually kind of brilliant and fun because it has a form ready-made. When we draw and we learn to draw and we're told ovals are important, everything's kind of built out of ovals. Make an oval for the head, make an oval for the body. Well, it isn't that easy to make an oval. In fact, drawing with outlines isn't really the way things are. We're built out of forms. And a fingerprint gives you an instant form, whatever color you choose. Then you just add the details. Now, I'd like to give credit to the books and resources. You, of course, can just look these things up on Google and probably find enough. But I found these great books, and here they are. This is the really popular fingerprint art book. You can get it just about anywhere at Emberley's. And look at how simple the animals are. A single color or two colors with just fine black pens. He has that cartoonist ability that I don't have, but he also shows not only the fingerprint and the progress, but exactly what you're putting each step. What more could you want? This book I ordered and it came from the UK. It's really artistic. It's really fun. All sorts of styles of things, using more than just your fingerprints, printing with rubbish. Her animals are a little more sophisticated, but they're lots of fun. So, you got your fingertips ready? Let's look at our supplies and let's get started. Supplies today, I've got archival inks. We always start with yellow for the bees. I've got orange. I've actually got 2 shades of blue. And I didn't have purple, so I have my washable craft ink that you can get in huge sets, but they are water soluble. The archival inks, you need some sort of sanitizer or alcohol or soap and water. You might want to sketch with your pencil and eraser. You might want your rulers for your headlines, of course, cards or practice paper, and a scrap paper for testing your fingerprint marks. And now pens. I'm going to talk a little bit about pens, because I like to have my headlines kind of stand out, and the quickest way to do it is with a pen that helps you. So I've ordered a lot of calligraphy pens, found a lot of them to be too large for what we do. So you want 2.0. Calligraphy pens, traditionally we hold at a 45-degree angle, but you can write straight. You just write with your handwriting. It just makes it look cool. I've got a couple larger ones here. This is Itoya or Itoya double-ended, so it has a 2.0. A bolder one here for our balloons. Brush pens. I know everybody buys the big, luscious Tombow pens. For me, they're best for larger lettering, and the softer the brush, the more you have to hold it up in the air. And I like what's called sign pens. These are Pentel. All of these are made out of rubber, and you can get a fine line by just holding them up straight. But then when you press harder, you get a thick line. So you have this thick and thin quality that all your friends will envy. This is a brand I found on the Big A. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else. Writech, W-R-I-T-E-C-H. I've really been liking them. And they have a very nice green and a very nice turquoise that I use a lot. Le Pen makes a flex, Le Pen Flex. I have used tons of these, thick and thin qualities. It's a bold blue, here's a navy blue, and I also brought along a Stabilo brush pen. Softer, there's an amazing carder named Peg, and I just loved looking at her cards and wondering what the heck is this pen that gets thick and thin, but finer point. And it is a Tombow called a Fuda, which means excellent. I'll be using that for some of my inking over my bees and such. All right, we've got our yellow. I've got my honey gold fingernails. Let's start. I'm going to work on the half side. If you're paranoid about using too much space, then sit down ahead of time with your nice simple ruler and sketch a line or make a incline. First, we do the bumblebees. When you haven't used your ink in a while, you don't know how much is going to be on your finger. Yellow, being so pale, once it dries, we don't really see the fingerprints. Oh, I see a little bit there. I've discovered that years of teaching art, doing pottery and everything else, I have crag lines going through my fingers. I'm going to do one this way, spread them out to dry. The plan is going to be to do all the inking and then it should be dry and we should be able to do our details. All right, now I'm taking my pinky, pointing down into my page, and what the heck, I'll put a beehive on this one. So to make it look like it's sort of on the ground. I'm going to use yellow in a flower, but I'm only going to have the center. That's it for yellow. Okay, I cleaned my fingers of the yellow, and I've got orange here. My bloom for democracy is going to be orange. Now, you can just go around however you want, but just in case it doesn't match up that great, I'm gonna go straight across 4, and then whatever I feel like doing in between. If I feel like just doing one, or if I actually want to do 2 in between, that's fine. All these interesting lines on our fingers. Nice pattern it makes. Woohoo! There's one orange little flower. I'm going to put a couple small ones. This is going to be a field of flowers. And since I've got orange handy, I'm going to do a few. Now, presumably in real life, you're going to be just doing one set. So you're just going to be using one color and doing lots and lots of cards. Okay, I'm going to use a little light blue, adding a few more of these really serious detailed blossoms to our garden of democracy. I almost forgot the purple blossoms in our garden. Well, that's going to be a fun one. There we go. Even the tips of our pinkies are not perfect circles. And now I'm going to start to make a butterfly, and I'm going to put it in the corner. If you want to, you can sketch the line of the center of the butterfly. So I'm going to tilt it out. Tilt the uppers out. And now I've got this craft ink that's water-based for kids. You can get a huge set of a million colors. I thought this would really save money, but it kind of separates. Yeah, I was going to use my pinky on this for the lower half of the butterflies. And finally, I'm going to make a few balloons. I'm going to use my thumb. And that's as simple as it. We're going to keep it today. Okay, you're giving these a couple minutes to dry. I'm going to use my Tombow pen here. The very simplest bee, of course, is the one you see everywhere these days, especially a certain newspaper. They don't even curve. We just go 3 straight lines, a little stick of a tail, a little single eye, a little smile, and a couple of wings that would not accomplish anything. But it's cute. Maybe one like the antenna. Some of them have little legs dangling down. There you go. You've got a bee. I'm going to go through and do the inking of them first, and then we'll talk about headlines. This one is similar, but I'm going to give it a little more finesse, I guess, and use curving lines. Curving lines are called contour lines, and they help create the feeling that the object is three-dimensional. Not much difference though. Maybe a little more of a pointy stinger. Still gonna do basic smile. Maybe I'll do a little more with the wings. And of course, an antenna. Now, I've seen some of these upright ones, so I thought I would show you one of those. It has a separate head, so you could do, one fingerprint and then your pinky if you wanted. Circular head. Whatever you want to do the face. Little Mork and Mindy antennas. And nice big wings, which I didn't do. And you're free to sketch these first. They're nice uneven wings. Don't cry about it. Okay, here's the bee I've been doing. It does take a little more work and it takes a little more practice. Here's my orange pen, or an orange Sharpie. Sort of beehivenated there, working from the top down. The key thing is sort of at the shoulders here, just under the top of the fingerprint shape. And make this notched shape and color it. And then the head comes out of that. Got the two bulgy eyes and then the bulgy front. But it's all one color. Anyway, that's where I make my contour lines. I don't know how accurate that is because a real close-up of a real bee creeps me out so bad. I can't stand it. So the leg comes out, upper wing, lower wing, and leg. Upper wing, lower wing, leg. This took me a lot of practice, like even with the pinky. Look how big that is. But the idea is you might want to make little bees buzzing around the hive. I don't know why. You'll see. Okay, for the butterfly, I need a little bit bolder pen. Here's my flower. What brush of green should I use? I'll try this one. Now, of course, you can use black to make all the details on all your items. All right, now here's our Garden of Democracy. Balloons. Well, we try not to release helium balloons, right? We dispose of them properly if we do anything at all with them. Different brand of calligraphy pens. Start down here. Make an angled rectangle, a nice small one. Make the bottom jagged or floofy. Make an angled rectangle up here. Connect it because this is a neck. Tail. Color it in. Color it in with this. rough out here and then a rough out down here. Just, something fun. All right, now don't think I'm into cruelty to animals here. Let's make sure he's not floating in the air. What do you know? I've got another one. I thought this would be really simple to do too. Of course, those of you who have a lot of rubber stamps might have a hand, you might have a child, you might have doggies or a panda or anything that could be holding up these balloons. Okay, this is going to be a hand. First, angle down towards the wrist and then swoop up, curve down. But this is the thumb up here, so you want this to then swoop into the thumb shape. So it swoops in the other direction, and then you just go blah, blah, blah for the other fingers. To make a thumbnail. Again, we've got the strings coming down. There you are. You don't have to have anything else other than the word vote. But I'm going to show you writing with some of these other types of pens that'll help it give it a little edge and to just go quickly, not too quickly. I mean, write nicely. Make a line if you want to make a line. If you use one of these sign pen type, hold them laying down, angled off more parallel to the paper. See, we're getting into the community idea here. You could do this with larger fingerprints and just have 3 blooms. I'm just being very casual with my writing. You know there are people out there looking at you, Rose and Jill, whose writing looks super, super perfect. Don't worry about it. Each year needs you to make some cards, get busy, make it simple for yourself, make a lot of them, make a difference. Using fingerprints and a simple stamp pad is a very fun and easy way to get basic forms onto your cards very quickly. You can do a lot of them, and if you think about what kind of pen to use, you can write a coordinated headline very quickly. Save yourself some money and make a lot of great cards that voters will love. So I hope you got your fingers dirty and you're ready for some more. Next time we don't need many colors, just blue, green, little brown, red, reddish brown, something like that. And please come back next time. We're going to do a fish, turtle, maybe even a fox. Please subscribe and like and leave me some questions. And don't forget to watch the credits. It's important information. Have fun and see you soon. Bye-bye.